Apalachee High student 14, charged in school shooting that left 4 dead, 9 injured. 4 people are dead with 9 injured and 1 person in custody following a deadly shooting at Apalachee High School in Winder on Wednesday. Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey in a Wednesday news conference identified the shooter as Colt Gray, a 14-year-old student at Apalachee High. Hosey said Gray will be charged with murder as an adult. Of those dead, 2 were students and 2 were teachers, he said. 9 others, 8 students and a teacher, were injured in the shooting and taken to local hospitals. None of those who perished or suffered injuries were identified at the news conference. Hosey listed those who died as students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo, both 14, and teachers Richard Aspinwall and Christina Irami. At a later news conference on Wednesday, Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith said those injured in the shooting are all expected to recover. Smith called the shooting pure evil after taking a moment to compose himself while speaking to media at an afternoon press conference. "My heart hurts for these kids," he said. "My heart hurts for our community. But I want to make it very clear that hate will not prevail in this county. Love will prevail over what happened today." Smith said Gray surrendered and went to the ground when confronted by a school resource officer. Authorities are questioning him, but Smith did not offer details on a possible motive for the shooting. The gun used was described by Hosey as an AR platform-style weapon during an evening news conference. At the evening news conference, Hosey noted that the FBI previously investigated school shooting threats that were later tied to the Gray by the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. At that time, though, there was no probable cause for an arrest. However, Hosey said investigators are looking into any possible ties from that threat to Wednesday's violence. "This is still a very fluid investigation and still very active," he said. Barrow County Schools Superintendent Dallas Liduff said all schools in the system will close for the remainder of the week. However, the central office will remain open and grief counseling provided to any student who seeks it. Apalachee High School administrators at about 10:45 a.m. Wednesday sent a message to parents noting that the school was in a hard lockdown after reports of gunfire. The GBI and the FBI had agents on site, according to social media posts from those authorities. Hosey said authorities interviewed numerous students, faculty, and other witnesses they could identify. He said local, state, and federal agencies contributed to securing the school and the investigation. Multiple crime scene agents were collecting evidence, he added. The suspect and his parents have been interviewed by investigators, according to Smith. Hosey said that anyone with information about the shooting can anonymously provide information by calling 1-800-597-TIE-PS. "I have directed all available state resources to respond to the incident at Apalachee High School and urge all Georgians to join my family in praying for the safety of those in our classrooms, both in Barrow County and across the state," Georgia Gov. Brian Kemp posted on X. "We will continue to work with local, state, and federal partners as we gather information and further respond to this situation." In an evening news conference, Kemp noted that he represented Barrow County in the state Senate 20 years ago. "This is everybody's worst nightmare," he said. "These are our neighbors, these are our friends, and this community is hurting today." President Joe Biden also responded to the shooting. What should have been a joyous back-to-school season in Winder, Georgia, has now turned into another horrific reminder of how gun violence continues to tear our communities apart, Biden said. "Students across the country are learning how to duck and cover instead of how to read and write. We cannot continue to accept this as normal." The school is one of 2 high schools in the Barrow County school system. Other nearby schools were placed into lockdown as a precaution, noted the Barrow County Sheriff's Office. By mid-afternoon, parents and students continued to leave the area of the football stadium, where they gathered after being escorted from the school, which had become a crime scene. Jana Kunis was leaving with her daughter, and like many parents was shaken by the shootings. "We were so scared. I mean, you go to work and never go home to your loved ones," she said. "I live here, and Barrow County is known as a beautiful county. Now that you hear more and more of these type events, it makes you wonder, should I stay here or go somewhere else?" Kunis said she was at work when she heard co-workers questioning why there was so many sirens. "Later we found out on the news that it was shooting here," she said. Natalie Brooks sighed.